Chris here with another quick tip for you all. In this video, we're going to continue our look at painting the Emperor's Children from the Horus Heresy Betrayal at Kelth box set. And so as you can see here, we are going to work on the plasma pistol of the Emperor's Children. Now this pretty much goes for every plasma pistol that's in the box, and it doesn't really matter what chapter it is. You can pretty much paint it just like this. Get it started, we're going to be using black metal. Now you can pretty much use black metal. This is scale 75. You can use Vallejo dark metal, or you can use lead belcher from Citadel. Basically, you're just looking for this really dark metallic color. And basically, we are just going to give the entire pistol a base coat of this. I happen to like this paint very much for this job here, because it goes on so smooth and in very minimal amount of coats. Usually it only takes less than 2 coats to do a job. And of course I also hit some other areas like the hoses on the chest and the little grills on the in the joints as well, but we're not concerning ourselves with those. And basically we're going to take some Dawn oil and we are going to give a fairly generous shading of the metal. Now you can see here it's really heavily pooled up there in some areas, and I really didn't want that, so I got to move some of that around and just kind of get it out of there because it's just a little too heavy for my liking. And once it dries, now bear in mind as well, is once it dries, it does dry with a matte finish, and so it will kill some of that luster in the metals, but that is fine because now we're going to come in with some thrash metal, or iron breaker if you will. And we are basically going to throw in a little edge highlight. Now you could just simply throw in the edge highlight with your finest detail brush that you have on hand, or you can simply dry brush the metal areas, although being very mindful of the purple areas of the armor. It's always a bit of a pain when you get into those other areas and you end up hitting some of the finished areas of the model, and you know, just kind of ruins your day kind of thing. So just be mindful of that when you are working and you are going to dry brush. It's often why it's sometimes better to go in with just simply and edge highlight these areas, especially for something so small, detail so small like the pistol itself. It's just, you know, just a small element of the model. And once we're done with that, we're going to come in with some ceramite white. This is a really good color for covering over other little elements, especially if we've had many layers of paint build up onto the model. Ceramite white is a base color, and we are going to color in the coils or grill, whatever this is, the heatsink. I don't know what this detail is on a plasma pistol. Nobody ever told me. I'll say coils anyway, because I often imagine these things are glowing. Now, are they glowing because they're red hot, or is it because there's energy through them? Don't know. Next, we're going to take some white scar and some Untitled Blue. We are going to wet blend these colors on the grill, and I'm going to put the blue closest to the nozzle itself, building up some more of that blue at the end there. And once I've got it just about, you know, half a centimeter down, I'm going to take my other brush that has white paint on it, and I'm going to blend the color up towards the end of the coils so that we have this nice little gradient of color going from almost a pure white down to a blue, down closest to the nozzle. Now it might take a couple attempts just to kind of build up some strength and build up the color in that area, but persistence does pay off. Now we're using white scar instead of ceramite white because the white scar does travel a lot smoother than the ceramite white. The ceramite white, for whatever reason, can kind of get chunky sometimes, and the white scar still tends to flow nice and smoothly. And so that's why we're going to use it to blend colors as we work our way around. And so once we're happy with that, we're going to come in with some Guilliman Blue. And this is just to finish off the effect and deepen up that blue color. Now we're pushing this color down towards the blue, towards the nozzle, as we want more of that blue to build up down in there. But otherwise, we want this entire thing kind of having this nice little blue glow to it. And so we just want a little bit more of that white here at the top of the coils. Next, we're going to come in with some heavy metal or rune fang steel or mithril silver for those who are really using some old paints. And very carefully here, we're just going to pick out a couple little corners here and there and some other little details as well. And pretty much just going to get the little edge highlights. Now we could have gone for an OSL effect onto the coils. I think the OSL effect's been kind of done to death. If you guys really want to see something like that, leave a comment below that you really want to see plasma OSL effects. And then maybe I will be kind enough to get around to doing one or two. But otherwise, for the nozzle here, I also changed my mind as well as how I was highlighting it, and because I was initially edge highlighting the areas, and so I figured, now I'll show something else on the nozzle, and so I ended up using most of the silver on the ends of the nozzle itself, and so you can see now the nozzle itself is fairly bright. Here I'm just taking a little bit of white scar, and I'm just catching those corners, just at that angle on those coils, and just catching a little bit of white there. Again, just to help increase that amount of glow in there and give the impression that there's some sort of power source in there, or I don't know, however you want to imagine it, I guess. Druchii Violet is next, and this is going to be the beginning of the heat treating of the end of the barrel. As you can imagine, plasma guns would get really, really warm as they're using them on the battlefield, and so here we are simply going to build up some nice little color here. And essentially we're going to start off with the purple, and we're drawing the purple about 3/4 of the way or 2/3 of the way down the barrel and pushing the color towards the front of the gun, or the end of the nozzle, or where the barrel is pointing, as you can imagine, the front of the gun. Guilliman Blue is next. Thin it down just a little bit, and then we're going to apply this, and this is going to go about halfway down the barrel to about 1/3 of the way down the barrel. We want most of this blue to build up near the end of the barrel. That's really where we want all this. And so again, you can see, you got to be careful not to strip any of that purple off, and if you do, you just simply come in real fast and hit it with some of that purple, and you can reestablish it. And again, it kind of is like wet blending almost. Abaddon Black is next, and this is going to be just a very little amount. We thin this down just really with the dampness of the brush, and it's just like the very tip of the brush, and just kind of drawing along the outer perimeter of the barrel. Again, this is like a blackening around the end of the gun, imagining that, you know, it's gotten so hot that the metal has kind of pretty much become burnt, and, you know, it's becoming quite useless, really, is what it is. It's just the metal's just become so scorched, and as you can imagine, the gun probably is glowing and what have you. And then next is Dawnstone, and Dawnstone, I like to do this at the end with a dry brush, and just a little bit of Dawnstone, and just a very light little dry brush at the end of the gun, just to give it that ashen kind of look that the black has become so scorched that it's just become ash, and the metal has become so light. But that's it. That's a Marines plasma pistol. Don't be afraid to give it a try. We've got even more painting tutorials in the silver MiniWarGaming Vault. You can watch another one today about doing the chips and scratches on an Emperor's Children. Just click on the link in the video description below and watch it right now. If you don't have the MiniWarGaming Vault membership, you can click on the link and sign up for a 7-day free trial. Make sure that you get the silver membership so you can access the painting tutorials. And you can get instant access to over 1,000 painting tutorials already in the vault. And so thank you for watching, and don't forget to leave a comment as to what you would like to see in future quick tip videos.